Who's going to be a bigger pest in this series, Caruso or TJ McConnell?
That's a great question.
I mean, Caruso's probably the better defender, but like McConnell's annoying on both ends. They both are. They both are very pesky, and the Caruso's obviously just better built for it. But McConnell just never stops. Like he's like a gnat. It just never ends with him. And like you have to guard him when he's going to run through these 3 or 4 actions where he's going to like run underneath the basket and then circle back around and then run around it again and then somehow throw this 6-footer up that's going to go in every time. Both of those guys are absolute pests. But I mean, Caruso's got a little more size, and Caruso's capable of, he annoyed the heck out of Jokic in that series in Denver. And so both of those guys can be their own separate kinds of problem, but they're both a problem.
Yeah, I agree. It was interesting today. I had a chance to listen to Alex Caruso's media availability here at Media Day, and he admitted, which I guess you have to. I mean, inherently I knew, but like he said, you can't play at playoff intensity all season. Like he was like, I think he said something like, I wasn't slacking, which I mean, I wouldn't assume anybody would be, but it was like, you can't really crank it up to this level until you're in the playoffs. And I think he has taken it to another level. We've joked here that he's never going to have to buy another drink, another meal, another anything in this city. I mean, even though, he could buy us all out a million times over with his salary, people here have taken to him, love to see him come in games. And obviously, like you said, Dustin, I mean, when he goes in and starts guarding Jokic in that Denver series, I thought, well, this is just for like a possession or two, right? And then it worked. It works, it was like, wait, what? So yeah, he is obviously his most effective against, other guards, but clearly, and I think we've seen it with Jalen Williams. I think we've seen it with Lou Dort. We've seen it with several of these guys where they're able to guard bigger or smaller. And I think that gives them such great defensive flexibility. Again, when we were talking about screens, if a guy comes off a screen, they switch. I don't think they feel like they're losing a whole lot if they switch off to a bigger or a smaller, because so many of these guys have guarded, out of position, if you will. And so I think that's a really interesting side note. But yeah, I think could McConnell and Caruso guard each other? Is that a possibility? Because that would be fun.